Well, hello and welcome to This Month in Hamilton, our March 2025 edition. I want to start out, as I always do, by thanking WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us each and every month to bring you what's going on this month in Hamilton. I want to also thank our sponsors, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. Joining us today, we have what was Campfire NJ. It will soon, or as already, rebranded to Embright. So they are part of our Homedale Nonprofit Center. We've kind of just branded it that way. At our Homedale facility off of South Olden, we have James R. Halsey, now Embright, and Big Brothers Big Sisters. So three nonprofits, all geared towards those towards adolescents, right? And so we have Embright joining us today to talk about their new name, their mission, and what they're all about in helping youth in our greater Mercer County area. So excited to have them on later. And but want to tell you a little bit about what's going on this month in Hamilton. So hopefully many of you were able to make it out for our annual St. Patrick's Day parade. We had a beautiful parade day. There was over 10,000 people lining the parade. I know it was a little long this year. We had a medical episode or two that kind of elongated the parade, as well as we had to stop for a minute or a bunch of minutes to take care of somebody who had a medical episode. But a great parade. We saw many of you outside having fun with your loved ones, with your friends, just enjoying the day, enjoying the parade, enjoying the weather. Really a kickoff to spring now that we're in the spring season. And so I want to thank the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee for organizing another great parade, really putting it on. Our Grand Marshal as well, Todd from Tiernanog, and Riley Carr, our Miss St. Patrick this year. They did an outstanding job representing the greater Irish community here in Hamilton. I joke that we're just going to drag Tiernanog a little bit from Trenton into Hamilton. It's right on the border anyway, so now that he was our Hamilton Parade Grand Marshal, we'll just annex Tiernanog. I know many of you would probably appreciate that as well. In terms of other updates, so many of you saw the around town signs for the job fair. So we had a fantastic job fair. Over 1,200 people came to try to find a better job, or maybe their first job coming out of high school, or what have wherever they are in their career. So thank you for all who came out to our Hamilton Township Economic Development Advisory Commission for really help spearheading and organizing that event as well. And so, and to all the businesses and organizations. We had over 70 businesses and organizations come out to help people at whatever stage they are in their life's journey of work. And so a phenomenal event, and thanks to all who were participants in that event. And now many of you seen the around town signs. They just went up yesterday for our Azalea Festival. If you remember last year, we've switched Azalea Festival to, it used to be the Sunday on Mother's Day. We've now switched it to be the day before, the Saturday of Mother's Day weekend, with a rain date of Mother's Day. So the idea being just like we had last year, and last year worked out perfectly with the weather and everything. But we want our employees to be able to enjoy their Mother's Day with their families and loved ones. So the idea being we hold the event the Saturday before Mother's Day. Sayin Gardens, as always, is open year-round, 365 days a year. So for those who want to go for the festival, get pictures, see the vendors, hear the bands and the music, and get some food, come on that Saturday. If you just want to walk the grounds with your mom, right, or your grandma, or whoever, or just yourself, it'll still be open Sunday on Mother's Day for you to do so. It'll be much quieter, a little more peaceful, obviously, but it was a great event last year. We got a lot of positive feedback by having it the Saturday, the day before Mother's Day, so that's what we're doing again. So you've started to see those signs go around town, so we hope you make it out for Azalea Fest as well. In terms of the municipal building, that's still progressing as well. I will say the cold weather definitely set us behind a little bit, not unexpectedly, right? We get a schedule of fall of 2026. I think we're still on schedule for fall of 2026, maybe now later fall of 2026. But the cold weather definitely made it a little harder to do some things. But the project is still progressing, and you should start seeing actually steel starting to go up maybe late April, early May. And so you've probably now started to see as they do the cinder block staircases, right? So one is already visible from the road, and so they've got a few more of those to do as well. Those are the emergency stairwells that have to be built. So you'll see 3 of those being built. The same has to happen with the elevator as well for all the fire safety issues that'll be in the building. You know, we're going to have over, between the school district and the township, well over 200 employees in the building, then members of the public and the like. So we need to make sure we built enough emergency exits so people can get out of the building safely, quickly, and so you've already started to see those happen as well. So that's still progressing as it should. Like I said, just a little bit behind schedule right now, just due to the cold weather. So, and then you've probably seen, if you're continuing down Whitehorse towards our police department, our golf center is now open, and for this year we've leased out the operation of our golf center to a private entity who is better able and has better understanding of running a golf center. So we have a pro shop now. We've got an automatic ball dispenser. They made some investments in the mini golf as well. So, excuse me, it is more of a professionally run driving range and golf center now. And usually we didn't open until April 1st because of the improvements they've been able to make. They've been open already since March 15th. And we've had a bunch of warm days and a bunch of people already out. So we're really excited for the operation of the driving range. We think it's a better operation too. So if you haven't been already, come check that out and hit a few balls and maybe get some lessons, right? If you are a golf fanatic, I'm sure you're like me, you could always use some more lessons. So we hope you come out there too. If you're driving around town, now's the time of year you're going to start seeing, come April, our road improvement schedule start. So we have a bunch of roads we're doing this year. Some we're doing in-house, some we've contracted out. But we've also worked with, especially Aqua, New Jersey. They're doing a lot of water main replacement work. And so once they're complete with some of those projects, they're going to be doing some repaving as well. So you may have some temporary issues with traffic, right? We want you just to bear with us if you can, because those are temporary. We get a much better road and a much better infrastructure as we're replacing water mains or doing these road paving projects, right? But a big one's going to be South Broad Street. So if you remember 2 years ago, we did half of South Broad Street all the way from where it connects to Layler to the Circle. This year we're doing the other half as well. So there will be some, like I said, inconveniences with that, but we'll get a much better infrastructure road. We'll get a much better way of traveling around town, and you should start seeing some of those projects happen in April. Obviously not all of them at the same time. They'll be phased in. The paving season usually goes from about April 1 to October 31 because it needs to be warm enough for the asphalt to be able to settle properly. So you'll start seeing those infrastructure projects as well. We're putting the final touches on our budget, and so we're looking to introduce the budget come April. I will say we're in the same situation as everybody else, right? We're facing increases, especially in our health insurance costs, and that's what when the school district introduced their budget, right? It's the same things they talked about between inflation, between inflationary pressures, especially on some items like energy costs and health insurance, right? So we're taking another look at it to make sure we've got it as tight as possible, that we're holding our line on spending. Our capital improvements plan, I think, is a 75% reduction from what it was even 2-3 years ago, because we're looking to make sure we're holding the line even more. So we're taking a final look at it this week, hope to introduce it next week, and really let our town council take another look at it as part of their obligation too. So a lot going on in town this time of year. This is usually a big push, April, May, before you start getting a little bit of a drop off. Then come June a little bit, right, as you get into graduation season in the summer. So the next 8 to 10 weeks, there's going to be a lot going on. You're going to see a lot going on. You're going to hear of a lot going on, and it's all good stuff that way. One final piece, we're working still on our affordable housing plan. We have until the end of June to put forward our affordable housing plan. So we know we need to build more housing that's affordable for many people out there, whether you're a teacher, somebody just out of high school is looking for their first apartment, right? You can't afford a $3,000 a month apartment coming out of high school or on a first-year teacher salary, things like that. So we've got a plan we're starting to put together that we think will really benefit the town, and work with all the different groups, especially the school district, right? As the school district's growing, we want to make sure we don't overburden it, so put together a plan that controls that as well. So a lot of good stuff going on, and what I need to do right now is take my first break. Like I said, we'll be back with what was Campfire, right, is now Embright, to talk about all the great things they have going on. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Kessel Dermatology in Hamilton Square is an award-winning dermatology practice led by Dr. Daniel Kessel, a board-certified dermatologist. He and his expert staff treat patients of all ages. They offer treatments of all types of skin, hair, and nail conditions, and annual skin cancer screenings, anti-aging treatments, ultraviolet A and B light treatments, skin tightening procedures, Botox, and other treatments that enhance your skin's overall health and appearance. Kessel Dermatology is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. For appointments, call 609-890-2600. That's 609-890-2600. Or visit KesselDermatology.com. They're at 1700 Whitehorse, Hamilton Square Road. Kessel Dermatology. They're good! Hamilton Township in Mercer County is fortunate to have many fine businesses that serve our community. Saul Funeral Home is a fourth-generation family-owned business proud to support our local schools and community. Their compassionate and caring staff is there for you and your family. They'll bring the closure you deserve while also celebrating the life of your loved one. Visit their website at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Home at 3795 Nottingham Way, Hamilton Square.
Welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So as I said, joining us today, Embright, right? Formerly Campfire. I keep wanting to call it Campfire.
Yes, I
right? First off, what went into the name change?
So,
because it was just in the last few months, right?
Yes. So this has actually been something that we've been looking at for a few years now.
Okay.
And really had to figure out, how can we do this? What does it look like? And we have been building a really great board of directors that have allowed us to step forward with our rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
So let me first say this. we have been in the community, Campfire, New Jersey, for decades, right? And
That's why I'm still getting used to the name change
I
myself.
I know, everybody is. But we really knew, so we were part of a national organization, and we were the New Jersey chapter. And with that, we were, we just saw the direction our national was moving in, which was really great, but it wasn't what we were doing in New Jersey. And we really have figured out our niche, right? We do those programs at school, how we're working with the kids. So we didn't align the way that we needed to. So we chose to step back and have independent status from our national, and it's a rebrand. So everything in New Jersey that we do, it's staying the same.
Okay.
The impact we have, the programs we do, and the communities that we reach, it's all staying the same. It's just a name change, which is really exciting. It's an exciting time for us because it took a little while to get here, right? It took a little while, but now that we're here, we're rebranding and we're getting ready to launch out.
Okay.
Yes.
So a little bit, just tell the audience a little bit, Campfire now, Embright, right? And that's the last time I'm going to use Campfire, right? But how long have you been there? Like, what is it?
Right.
What's the genesis of it here, especially in Hamilton and in New Jersey, right?
Well, let me start with this. So my name is Jessica Nitti.
Yes, sorry.
It's all good. My name is Jessica Nitti. I am the executive director of Embright Education, formerly Campfire, New Jersey.
That'll be the last time you say Campfire.
I know. So I have been very fortunate to have been a part of this phenomenal organization. For the fall will be 30 years.
Wow.
I know, and even when I step back to reflect, I realize how lucky I was, because the pieces of who I am and who my children have become have been rooted in Embright Education, right? It's from all the things that we teach our children, we empower them. So, yeah, I've been a part of this organization. I have probably had every role at Campfire. So it allows me to kind of step back with a different viewpoint of what's needed. And as we've been building, especially after COVID, right, this phenomenal team in-house and our board of directors that have allowed us to step back to say, what do we need to do?
So what does Embright do?
Embright has this opportunity to work in communities. We go into schools. We partner with the Board of Education. We go into the elementary schools. We deliver programming, in-school programming for 8 weeks. Age appropriate, developmentally appropriate, spiraling. We work along with the teachers, we support them, and we give children the language they need for life skills, right? The life skills. All of us need life skills. It doesn't matter what age you are.
We're always
right?
working on them. Yeah.
Sugar, you don't need to tell me, right? So these life skills that we need, that executive functioning, mindfulness, social emotional learning, we all need it. So we go in at that young age and we plant that seed. We give them, we do that through hands-on activity, visuals, group work, videos. We really look at the whole child of how to work with them and the different learners we have in the classroom. So we have our in-school program, it's pre-K through 8th, and then we have our our teen leadership program. That is 8th through 12th.
Okay.
Right now, that programming is at our Steiner High School. We are proud to say that we have over 200 students that are involved.
Wow.
And what our teens do is community service, right? We do community service. It's a leadership building. We give them opportunities to engage in different parts of the community, to allow them to see the true difference that they can make. And all of our programs, from the in-school, from the leadership, seeing these children recognizing their own value, recognizing that they can be seen, they can be heard, and that we're giving them the skills that they can build upon of how to get to those places inside of them. Because as an adult, we know, we could step back. It's a continuous process.
Oh, yes.
Right? Imagine, Mayor Martin, that you had these skills when you were younger. If you had them, if all of us had them, how we handled situations, how we can pause to regulate before we respond, it would shift our trajectory, right? It would shift our trajectory.
Oh, yeah.
And that's truly what Embright Education is. It's part of the community. It's a piece of the community, because not one organization can do it alone.
Sure.
Nor should they, right? It's a village. And we look at who are the people that we can come together with to help support the communities. We have been very fortunate to have different partners and collaborators. But at Embright Education, I have been given a gift to be a part of this organization.
Now, the organization, what makes it especially special for Hamilton is you have your headquarters
Yes.
here in Hamilton, right?
Yes. Yes.
And as I said in the when you weren't on yet, part of what we're calling kind of our nonprofit center here in Hamilton,
Right.
with other organizations that are geared towards adolescents
Yes.
and youth as well, because as you said, it takes a village.
It does.
And so
does.
I'm sure there's some collaboration
Yes.
directly or indirectly with other organizations as well.
Yes. We love our nonprofit hub, and the relationships that we have built with the JRH Foundation, who does filming and editing for students throughout Mercer County. It's a phenomenal, another life skill. They're teaching life skills to let children recognize strengths that they have so they can become the best version of themselves. And Big Brothers Big Sisters is with us. They are mentoring. They have programs that really give kids another level of support when they don't have it at home or in other areas. So I love, because we're right in the middle of them, right? I love being in this building because it's not only collaboration within the community. Every year we have our holiday on East Franklin Street event. We have Santa. It is a free event for the whole community. They come in, their families come. We have Santa there. We give them gifts. We collaborate with JRH and Big Brothers Big Sisters and show the community a day where they can remember, and something that they can remember with their families.
Sure.
So we do.
And that puts smiles on the kids' faces,
Oh
right?
my goodness, it is the best event. It's one of the best ever. And I think it's because the families truly feel that they belong there, right? And that sense of belonging changes.
Sure.
Right? It plants that seed that we all need.
Yeah.
So our nonprofit hub, not only do we serve the communities, but we support each other. Talking with the executive directors, the teams that are in the buildings, because we all need that support. At moments, we don't know how to shift forward. But when you go down to that person who's now your friend, you can brainstorm together. You can pause together. You can reflect, and you can step forward together. So,
Yeah. And learn from each other, too. Yes.
so you've really provided that for us, and we will be forever grateful.
Well, I'm jealous of your office space. I have to say it's nicer than my current office space. We're working on ours, right? And I know we're working on yours a little bit too. So, so for those who, look, I told you before we started, right? My little one starts kindergarten in the fall. How do parents maybe see Embright, right? I know we'll talk just specifically Hamilton, and I know you're in communities and schools beyond just Hamilton, right? But how do parents then see Embright in their local school?
So Parents are a huge piece, as a parent as well. Raising 3 children, along with my husband, in the school system, and navigating, right, all of the life challenges that continuously happen.
Sure.
Even when you least expect it, because they're not supposed to. As a parent, it's important that they understand the language, and they have the language too. So a lot of the stuff that we do, especially working with our little guys, we provide parenting information, tools, strategies that they can reinforce, that they can use at home. But, the bottom line is, as a parent, and I'm speaking for, right, we need these tools. We have to learn them ourselves.
Sure.
Because our children at different times or different ages, without us even knowing it, can be triggering. Different situations can be triggering to us. And if we don't have those skills or knowledge of them, or mindfulness, doing different mindfulness activities, we can get triggered, and now we're reacting, and it's causing much more situation than it could have been. So as a parent, yes, we need these skills. We know the parents are a huge part of the puzzle, and we're continuously looking at how do we support them? What do we need to do? And how can we give them the best advantage?
So let's talk, and this is my mistake, I forgot to ask from the beginning. So what's now Embright, how did your involvement start 30 years ago?
Oh, I love that. So
We got 3 minutes till our break.
all right, I'm a talker. So I had the phenomenal opportunity. I went to the College of New Jersey,
Great
then
school.
Trenton State. Woo! And when I came out, I knew I was in. I knew I wanted to do social work, psychology. I knew I wanted to get into that area. And back then, it was a big binder. Now it's very different, right? So I found Campfire, and at the time I went and I interviewed. I was with these 3 women who were thinkers beyond what was happening. They looked ahead. They were looking at the communities they were servicing. They truly loved the children in the community. And I didn't realize at that time, stepping into an organization like this, what I was also gaining as a human being. They laid pieces of the foundation of who I am in such caring, loving ways. And it's the same that they do. It's the same that they did with the children and the communities they service. So I had the honor of learning from them, looking at their vision, seeing how they wanted to impact the community. And through that, they gave me this opportunity to step into this leadership role.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was I will forever be grateful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Jess, we have to take our first break. I know there's still lots more to talk about, but we'll be back in just a little bit, continuing the conversation about Embright.
Kessel Dermatology in Hamilton Square is an award-winning dermatology practice led by Dr. Daniel Kessel, a board-certified dermatologist. He and his expert staff treat patients of all ages. They offer treatments of all types of skin, hair, and nail conditions, and annual skin cancer screenings, anti-aging treatments, ultraviolet A and B light treatments, skin tightening procedures, Botox, and other treatments that enhance your skin's overall health and appearance. Kessel Dermatology is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. For appointments, call 609-890-2600. That's 609-890-2600. Or visit KesselDermatology.com. They're at 1700 Whitehorse, Hamilton Square Road. Kessel Dermatology. They're good. Hamilton Township in Mercer County is fortunate to have many fine businesses that serve our community. Saul Funeral Home is a 4th-generation family-owned business proud to support our local schools and community. Their compassionate and caring staff is there for you and your family. They'll bring the closure you deserve while also celebrating the life of your loved one. Visit their website at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Home at 3795 Nottingham Way, Hamilton Square. Your vehicle is in good hands at Haldeman Collision, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They do it all at Haldeman Collision. Minor dents and dings, bumpers, windshields, major body, and frame damage. Free estimates, 24-hour towing, most insurance accepted, and loaners available. Haldeman Collision works with all makes and models. They'll go out of their way to getting your car back in brand new condition. Haldeman Collision, conveniently located 20 minutes from Langhorne, Princeton, and Ewing on Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So, Jess, when we went to break, we were talking about your journey, right, into then Campfire, now Embright, right? The people that work for Embright, right? What's their background? Are they volunteers? Are they staff? Are they credentialed, right? What's their kind of background?
I love your question. So at Embright Education, we have a staff that is built from educators, social workers, trauma-informed educators. We really look at diversifying not only the skill set, but also the way they think about things. Because at Embright, we look at, we really are a team, and we're continuously working at being the best version of that. But it's listening to each other and looking at ways of becoming stronger, better, reaching our kids in different, different ways that we're able to by the way that they think. So we have staff, we have our educators that go into the schools. So our in-school programs are 8 weeks.
Okay.
So that means, let's just say in Hamilton, perfect example, we are in the first grade classes.
Okay.
So at Alexander, we're in all of the first grades. Our instructor will get scheduled, and they'll have a time slot, anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. They're in the classroom with the children for 8 weeks. So that instructor's standing up there delivering our programs, and all of our programs are rooted in SEL, the core competencies.
SEL.
Social and emotional learning.
Gotcha.
Which is self-awareness, social awareness, responsible decision making. They really are built on those core competencies, and those core competencies are what the schools they address. They align with the NJDOE standards. They align with those core standards, our lessons, and they align with the core competencies. So our instructors, when they are in there, work with the kids. With the little guys with the first grade program, it's really storytelling. It's talking first about what we're going to be talking about, then telling that story, and then reiterating it again, because we really want to make sure our students are learning. And our little guy program, it is really about building connection. That instructor who stands up there not only is connecting with the students and giving them life skills and strategies, coping strategies, but also the teacher. It's building on what the teacher uses. It's reinforcing the language. So we're building a culture together to get to handle these situations.
So, like I said, my little one's starting Langtree in the fall at kindergarten, right? So she would get it the following year.
So,
or are you in every school in Hamilton, or just in some?
So love the question, because it leads branding. We are really focusing on Mercer County and saturating that pre-K, that kindergarten through 4th grade, because research shows year after year when children are receiving the same language, when they're building upon strategies and coping skills, the outcome for academic success is off the charts.
I have the structure, right?
Right, it builds a structure. That's why it's so important for us to be working along with the school districts, with the Board of Ed. What are they implementing? Because not only are we in Hamilton, we're through Mercer County on different levels. So working with those, the language that they're using, reinforcing it, and building upon it year after year we want to eventually eliminate the need for us, right? The need for us, because when that happens,
Not too many people who talk themselves out of a job, right? But
I know. So, but it's the truth. If planting these seeds at a young age, not only supporting the kids, the students, the parents with this language of how to emotionally regulate, using different executive functions, growth mindset, mindfulness, resilience, right? That resilience piece, having that ability to bounce back. How hard that is for some children, how hard that is for some people. But that is why it's so important to be able to continuously educate, support, and teach these different ways or tools or strategies that we have. And knowing that you don't do it alone. It takes a village.
Yeah.
And talking with these kids, and who's in your village? Who are those people? Who could you go to? And if it doesn't work with one, who else is there? Because a lot of stuff, our children, as you know, right? As you have a little young one, the pandemic shifted the pendulum even more. We knew mental health was having a crisis prior to. We knew that. We saw the stats. We saw anxiety and depression. And now it's even showing more. Anxiety, and research shows anxiety, depression, suicidal ideations are on the rise. It's in such an increase. So what are things we can do? And it's exactly like this, starting this language young, giving them the tools they need, giving them strategies how to calm down so their prefrontal cortex, right, that's the part in the brain where your emotions regulate, can pause. And we even do it in one of our programs. We do stop, think, and know. We used to do stop, think, and grow, or go, but it doesn't have to be an action. It just has to be a moment that you're pausing and you know then what to do. And you can do that through breathing. You can do that through visualization. And these are all, you could do that through gratitude. These are all things that we have in our programs that we build upon. Again, age and developmentally appropriate, so these children are understanding.
So you have a program for, I guess, each age group that you're involved in.
Yes,
thing, right?
We have age appropriate for each age group. They build upon each other. And it's a support, just like how you said with your daughter starting. It's really starting that language, understanding the emotions, what it makes them feel like. And it's okay for them to feel, right, these different ways. But then saying to your daughter, you know what, I think I need to breathe right now, right? Like, I'm just going to take a deep breath. It's setting those examples, especially at those young age, because it's not do what I say. If they're watching you. They're watching you.
And they're listening to
everything. They're listening. So it's teaching them, it's showing them, and that's what we do in the classroom. Our educators are in school, our instructors who are educators in the classroom, that's truly a piece that sets us apart. We mandate them to have trainings. Some of them, the majority of them, are trained in trauma and resilience certification, mental health first aid for youth. We are continuously looking at different levels of trainings to make sure our instructor, when they're standing up in front of those students, that they're able to address the needs and they're able to work with the different students that we have. We have programs, I mean, as I said, if I was at Alexander, then we're seeing all of Alexander. All of the children that are in the first grade are inclusion students, so we need to be able to work with different children with different needs.
Sure.
To include them. You know, I have a really great story. Actually, one of our instructors, I was there, I had the opportunity to see her, in action, and I was observing her, and she was doing our program. She was doing our Count on Me Kids program in first grade. And she is a beautiful, a phenomenal instructor because she truly relates. She sees the children. And she was doing the story, and it turned out there was a child who just transferred from another country to the classroom. And the child spoke a different language. The child spoke Spanish. It was a little boy. And she did the program, and she realized that he was Spanish. So we have bilingual educators with us.
Wow.
So all children are included. She, at different points, stopped the program and did it in Spanish and made this child feel, you saw this spark in the child's eyes change. It illuminated, and that's what Embright's about, illuminating that shine inside of you. And so she did the program, and at the end, the child went up to her, and he spoke in Spanish, and he put his hand on his heart, and he thanked her. And he said for the first time, he felt included. And that is what our organization, that's one of the main things of our organization. It's making sure we make the child feel included, because when you feel included, you know you're seen, you know you're heard.
And I know your focus is on Mercer County, right? But even just in Hamilton, one school can be so much different than another school, right?
Correct.
So you need that ability to
Correct.
Deal with kids from all different stages of life, right?
Yep.
Or backgrounds, or things like that too.
Religions, diversity, cultures. Making sure that we bring in different types of trainings, bias trainings, cultural sensitivity, just so we're aware of, and we want to make sure when we are in those classrooms, we're making that difference. And exactly, excellent point. In Hamilton, what do we have? 17?
17
we have
elementary
17 elementary schools. So across the board, they're different. They have different issues. So we go in prior, what are the things that they're facing?
Sure.
How can we help support the school, that school community? How can we help support? We go down to the classroom. How can we help support that teacher? What's happening in that classroom? That is what we do. We will, through our curriculum, our evidence-backed curriculum, we really we adjust to support the classrooms that we're in.
That's awesome. So we got to take our final break.
My goodness.
I know, and we cover a lot in a short amount of time, but we'll be back in just a little bit with Jess and finish talking about Embright here today.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Your vehicle is in good hands at Haldeman Collision, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They do it all at Haldeman Collision. Minor dents and dings, bumpers, windshields, major body, and frame damage. Free estimates, 24-hour towing, most insurance accepted, and loaners available. Haldeman Collision works with all makes and models. They'll go out of their way to getting your car back in brand new condition. Haldeman Collision, conveniently located 20 minutes from Langhorne, Princeton, and Ewing on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Hamilton Township in Mercer County is fortunate to have many fine businesses that serve our community. Saul Funeral Home is a fourth-generation family-owned business proud to support our local schools and community. Their compassionate and caring staff is there for you and your family. They'll bring the closure you deserve while also celebrating the life of your loved one. Visit their website at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Home at 3795 Nottingham Way, Hamilton Square.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So we've been talking about it takes a village, right? We've talked about your collaboration with the other nonprofits and our nonprofit hub, right? But your collaboration, I'm sure, extends even beyond that.
Correct. We collaborate with the community, other nonprofits, with the Board of Eds, and we also have a really beautiful partnership that we collaborate with the College of New Jersey. We collaborate with, let me see the name of it, the learning, the Social Emotional Education Learning Lab at the College of New Jersey. They do our assessments to show our programs. They look at our programs. They show the validity. They do the data analysis.
So evidence-based, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We're continuously, we work with Dr. James Graham there, who is a really great professor who is rooted in psychology and truly, again, looking at the best way that we can impact the students that we're servicing. So every year we're continuously stepping back. We're continuously evaluating our programs through the lens of the data and also through the lens of our community partners. What are the needs out there? What's happening? And that shows us the impact, the outcomes that we've been showing is overall improvement in that social, emotional competencies that children are understanding, they're getting it. It's in their assertive decision making. It's showing that we're increasing, we're helping them with that type of thinking, that critical thinking piece. But the College of New Jersey, the Learning Lab, has been a partner, and through that partnership, it just gives us what word am I looking for? It gives us that extra support to really look at the programs. They also they look at other research that shows, so they show how our programs are working and why it's working. And it also allows us to, like I said, just truly reassess. We have to continuously evolve. Our curriculum is continuously evolving to be able to service the true needs that are happening in our community.
Well, and as we talked earlier, right? The evolving needs, COVID evolved needs as well, right? So,
oh, yes.
Yeah.
So COVID was that moment where everybody we all had to stop. We all had to stop because the world did, and we had to adjust. That gave us this moment to look, because we were virtual. We saw the kids we saw what was happening with these kids. We saw the parents because they were in the background. We saw the teachers, what was happening. And that was kind of one of the pauses that we took and said, you know what? We need to do more. We need to do more, because now that we're learning more, just like the saying, right? You do what you know, but when you know better, you do better. And that's really at the heart of our organization. And I believe right now, as we're rebranding into Embright Education and looking at our organization strategically, that is exactly what we're doing again. We're pausing to say, how can we do this better? And as these people come around us who think differently, who know different, who have different life experiences, it's letting us look at our organization strategically and how to step forward to make that impact, to work with partners in a collective way. Yeah, it's good.
It's a lot of self-awareness almost on your own part, right?
Well, it is.
You're asking kids to be self-aware through the programs, but as an organization, you're looking inward too and becoming self-aware.
Well, that is actually a really great observation, because that is what we really try to do at our organization. If we're going to be standing up there working with these kids, working in communities, working with teachers, working with parents, we have to also right, take those moments. We have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
We have to,
And I'm sure that sets your vision and your mission statement
yeah.
as well, right?
Right. And in our mission statement, right, we look to illuminate through kindness, connection, and resilience. And through our comprehensive programming, equipping all children with the skills they need to be successful human beings. Because when you have these skills, your academic life, it shifts.
Sure.
How you are in the world, what you contribute, it changes because that you know that you can. And that's why strategically looking at our organization, saturating Mercer County as we relaunch or as we're launching Embright Education, saturating those pre-K through fourth grade, giving them the tools they need, looking at ways to support our organization to get to that. Mm-hmm. Because that's what it is. We are a nonprofit. We are a 501c nonprofit, and we need that support. So moments like this are great opportunities to let people know who we are, what we do, and the impact we want to make.
So how can the community support you?
The community,
Because you have a lot going on, right?
Oh, we always have a lot going on. So the community can support us through donating, through going to our website, and our website is we're launching a new website mid-April, part of our rebrand. So going to that website, donating, sponsoring a child, sponsoring a classroom, sponsoring a community event, helping us those ways. Also, too, we have our golf outing coming up. We are on June 9th at Cherry Valley Country Club. It is one of the best days ever, I have to say. And
one of the most exhausting days ever,
it is,
I'm sure, too.
but it is so much fun because the people that are there, they learn about our organization. They're invested. They invest in. They want to see us, continuously grow. And on that day, we do a helicopter ball drop. So another way to sponsor is buying. That's buying a helicopter ball ahead of time. This helicopter comes with these buckets of balls, and it is dropped. And whoever makes it closest to the pin, they win. It's a phenomenal event. Just embracing who we are and what we do.
Yeah. So what is I know you said the website's in the middle of...
So right now we kind of have, like a little Band-Aid up, but we will be launching our website. The goal at this moment is mid-April.
Okay.
To push out the launch, the rebrand. So we'll have a rebranding, we'll have a branding campaign.
Awesome.
So for the next year and a half, to be able to saturate to the level we want to in Mercer County. And when we get to that level, then go beyond, working in different counties. As I said, our programs are pre-K through 8, then building upon the programs we currently have, reaching those next grades. And that's the great thing about a strategic plan, is just like curriculum, it's evolving. You have to be looking at, and especially with what's happening kind of in our world today, being able to step back and say, okay, you know what, we need to shift a little bit this way to make sure that we get to the children and work with them the way that they need. And the teachers, supporting the teachers. And like you said in the beginning, supporting our parents. Because as a parent, I've learned these skills. But when you're in the moment and your emotions are all over the place and it's really hard to regulate that prefrontal cortex, I understand. We get it. And that's why it's continuously stepping back to be like, oh gosh, I did not do that one okay. So, but it's also teaching your kids that you don't have to get it right every time. But what you do is recognize it, learn from it, and apologize. I remember the first time I apologized to my son. He's my oldest, and he was like, what? I said, I'm learning too. We're figuring this out. But we get to have this opportunity to figure it out.
Yeah, because the parental learning is ongoing, right? And as any parent, right, you're balancing job, health of
Yes.
either yourself or your kids or other loved ones, right?
Correct.
Education and sports or dance or extracurricular. I mean, there's a lot going on in everybody's life.
There's a lot, right?
And that's why it takes a village.
It's zillion percent takes a village, and that's why it's so important as a young child to start having them recognize who are those safe grown-ups, who are those grown-ups that, you know, can listen, and maybe if something's going on with them at the time, who else is in there? And siblings, you have your siblings, you have your teachers, you have coaches. There's so many different people that you're building relationships at a young age that you can go to, because we do need it. And just as you said, as a parent, we don't have, I wish we had a book, right? I wish we had a book, believe me, because it's hard.
There are plenty of books, but they don't cover
No,
every
they don't
situation.
cover, you know, to be like, oh, your child did this and you did this. And it's just, that's why I love Embright Education. I believe in what it does. I see the difference. I love the research that we're continuously looking at, how to be better and how to make this impact. And I love this opportunity we have right now for us to step back, to grow again, to be more impactful. And we need a village around us. So those people who don't know who we are, look, you know, go to social media. We have a great social media page on Instagram and Facebook. Look at our story. Look at the impact we have in the classroom. And just like I said, we have a teen program. We have a program that puts these kids in different areas, working along with other nonprofits. Robert Wood Johnson, they work great with our teens. We get to go and work with their seniors, you know, and intergenerational. We work with with the adults with special needs, engaging them, building friendships. But when you put a child in these situations, or a teenager, they have an opportunity to look at who they want to become and what they want to do. I have this quick story.
All right, it's got to be real quick.
How much time do I have?
We've got 2 minutes, so you got one.
So, really quick. I had this teen who we were going to Trenton Area Soup Kitchen. And he said to me, I don't think I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And I said, I love how you're sharing this with me, but you need to try it so you can actually say if you can do it or not. And after he did it, so we went and we supported him, and after he did it, he absolutely loved it. He spoke with the people there, the little kids, he engaged, and then after that was done, he said, I want to do more.
Wow.
He then put an initiative. He put 150 book bags together with hats, with socks, with sweatshirts, with hygiene, and he went there. He had a table just like this, and he went there and he shook every one of those hands. He asked them their names. He talked to them. He made those people feel seen. And somebody who was afraid, because fear, right?
A fear of the unknown, right?
Fear of the unknown is rooted in so much, even in this prior to coming here. It's in the unknown. But when you push fear aside and when you have those tools to, you thrive. And that is what we do. We teach children and teachers and our community and ourselves to thrive.
See, and just as you had fear in coming on today, you've certainly thrived in this. So, Jess, I just really want to thank you for coming here today and sharing about Embright Education, right, as part of your rebrand. Many of you have probably heard of Campfire, right, but really appreciate you talking about all the things going on and how it all is interwoven, right?
It is interwoven.
To making our community better. So.
And thank you for the opportunity,
Of
Mayor
course.
It's because of you, our nonprofit hub, these moments like this.
Wow.
And we appreciate you more than you'll know.
No, I appreciate all you do as well. And thank you for listening to another edition of This Month in Hamilton. I want to again thank WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us each and every month to bring you what's going on this month in Hamilton and our sponsors: Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. And with that, we will see you in April.